evening, everyone. Tonight's guest is one of the hosts of A Couple of Brickheads, godfather to the Girth Gang, and a man who knows how to get the bag and occasionally eat it too. Everyone, welcome Sean the right way.
What is happening? How you doing, man?
Good, good.
I'm posting that we're on. I'm an amateur here. I'm gonna put this on, and we'll get. I'm sure some of the boys will find their way here, but we'll go ahead and post this. So
yeah, it's you're used to just the same time slot, and everybody knows
yeah,
where to find you.
I always expect it of my guests, so it's like I need to do this. Not expect, but you know what I mean. Like, hey, man, put the word out. So, how you been, man? Haven't seen you since Brick World, man. What a ride!
It was fantastic, and seems like it was a year ago already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's like we said. I mean, I think it took me a few years to sort of get to that point, which is saying like it's almost like a Super Bowl season finale, and then you kind of start the next year with Brick World.
Yep.
It's just become such a big part of I was gonna say like the show and stuff, but for like a big part of our lives in general. I mean, it's really the adult Christmas. It's the way to get to see everybody. It's the only time, really. I mean, realistically, but given maybe these youngins could figure out a way to do it more, but us with fams and ample responsibility, it's tough to get out like that. So it's always good to see everybody. So
yeah, and it's a much different atmosphere than I had thought. Much less Lego and much more people.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what's great about it is it starts with that kind of common thread, and I mean it's definitely still sprinkled throughout. You're literally surrounded by it, and as much as you're cracking jokes or whatever you're doing, one of your friends will go by with a box still, and you'll be like, "What's going on with that?"
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, I killed this guy. I got it for 60 or whatever. You know what I mean? So like, there's still, but I feel you. Yeah, if it was just for that, there wouldn't be much to it. So, and I think that's why we like. I don't know, man. I could see probably without like the friends aspect or trying to what I always describe as plus it up in a lot of ways. That is like try to bring added value, think of new things to do. I could see something like that getting stale after a few years if those extras weren't there, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And mainly because like, I think I've made it known about my relationship with Mox. I think they're great and everything, but like, once you've seen that, I'm assuming because I don't go to a whole lot of different shows, some of the best Mox in the world. It's like, all right, what else is there to do? So it's like let's glorify average restaurants and make them part of the lore. Let's make the lobby of a hotel meaningful. Let's make a sports bar that we just pick to go to a thing now. I don't know. It's like just try to amplify all of it.
It's cool to see a lot of that stuff. I think the process of it was more exciting than the end result. The days leading up to it, watching people actually bring these monstrosities in, the logistics behind it.
Oh, the box, you mean?
Yeah, that was really interesting. I work in construction. I watch things get put together all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole different world seeing it done out of plastic. And how do you even do that? Well,
yeah, I think one thing about getting there early, and it never gets old, despite it kind of looking the samey-ish every year, is getting there. Was it Tuesday? I forget. Move-in days, maybe Wednesday. I don't bring any of that stuff, but yeah, it's Tuesday. Yeah. Anyways, just getting there and seeing it completely empty as they're starting to just set up the tables is. I always like to make a point of that because you're like, okay, from now on, every time I come in here, it's going to be a little more built up, So.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I think the process is cooler. I think the process is cooler than in most things.
Yeah.
Like not getting too super deep, but that is, you might not even realize it at the time, but that's the best part of most things.
Yeah, it's the journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So on the note of journeys,
Yeah.
you've come some ways. Where did you start off? Because I don't believe it was that long ago, right?
Yeah. So ACOB will have our 4th anniversary, which is wild. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the 21st of August. We'll be 4 years doing it. And really, it just kind of came out of, I had just gotten into Lego 2019. So I'm not super long into Lego and I'm old as hell. I mean, I don't mind sharing. I was 40 or damn near 40 when I started, messing with it. And it was pre-COVID, so I'm not one of those guys, but barely. And so I'd had a background and, I'd done some radio stuff with my friends. I've always kind of been a ham. I always had no problem kind of being a host, not necessarily online, but just in life, whatever. I've had some pretty high pressure meetings in my career. You know what I mean? That is to say, like, I'm pretty comfortable with communicating and everything, and sort of being confident in it. And then also I love like comedy and music. And I mean, I think you're seeing a lot of that come out. So I basically, we were talking off air, I had like started and stopped a couple things like throughout life. Like I've always said, I wish this stuff was here when I was most of these guys' age at 20 or whatever, because man, but whatever, there really wasn't an outlet for it. I guess it had started, but I was just like, but what do I do? Because I'm a fan and a follower of a lot of different things. And so anyways, it was Lego and it was like the latest passion. And I was just like, I'm looking at it and I'm more comfortable doing like a podcast kind of talky thing than recording, because when I've done stuff like that, I tend to get bored by it. And I second guess it like in an edit or even writing presentations and everything. Like I'll leave it at bullets because I'll get bored with it by the time I have to release it or perform it or present it at work. And I don't know. And if I'm thinking it's boring, which to a lot of people, it's the first time they're hearing it, I'm not able to sell it as exciting. So, and I've had people say, no, your written stuff's good. I'm like, yeah, but not to me. So it's like, so anyways, I was, just getting into the hobby. And because I was on the West Coast, I was living in LA at the time. Brent would come on at a good time for me. I want to say it was like late night for him. He'd get off of work from the restaurant and he'd be on, and it would be like, I think I'd be sitting there building or doing whatever, and he'd have like 10 or 12 people on in the chat, and he was doing it by himself and he was doing a great job. And I was just like, man, I bet he'd want, someone to bounce off of. And he wasn't like this monster star or anything at the time. So I didn't think it would be weird for a total rando. You know what I mean? Like if a total rando was like, hey, Ryan, I want to co-host a show, which quite frankly, we were almost in that position when we asked him to come on, and he was nice enough to come on. So, but anyways, I was just sitting, and he, I'd been commenting and stuff. So we had a little, the way, I know our guys, and by the time you meet them, you feel like you know them a little bit. And so I hit him up in the DMs, and he was like, yeah, actually that could be cool. And I was like, cool, let's just do a test run. I know you don't know me at all, because I've been watching you for months. So like, it's one of those things where it's weird, which now being on the other side of it, it's kind of interesting, because you have people tell you stuff about yourself and you're like, I don't remember doing that or say it. And it's kind of like grounding for sure. Anyway, so we did that. We did the test run, got the first one up, and the rest is history, I would say. I mean, I think the moves we made early, and I would, this is like, for people to, if anyone's looking for, I feel like we're in a point where we could maybe give a little advice, is it's everything. It's all the boring stuff everybody tells you, man. Just be consistent. just be consistent. Don't expect to be great immediately. Don't expect to be great in a year. Don't expect to be great ever. Just keep, Ryan says it, make the next video a little bit better than the last, or make the next stream better than the last, or that kind of thing. It's all true. You're not. We were talking about the process earlier. I don't think like actively I was doing that. Like, we got to get right. It was like I noticed little things and I'm like, let's stop doing that. Let's do more of this. Let's do that. What are the guys saying out there? So I don't know if that's more detailed than you're looking for, but that's kind of like that's how we did it. And then just the memes, the crazy shit, the slang, that just kind of comes with me being me. I just kind of say what the hell's on my mind. So
with the changes in the show, do you watch back, or do you just kind of notice these things as they're playing out?
Good question. Both, but I would say, like, you're in construction, right? So,
yep.
and anything you do for a really long time, there's tangible, factual stuff, and then there's like gut and feel. So I would say it's very much both. I sit now that we do these marathon, the old days, I think they were tighter. They were like an hour, and definitely I'd listen to everyone every week. Now it's like, I'll listen to it mainly from like the technical standpoint. Did the intro go off? Did this go off? I remember particularly cool segment or something I wanted to watch back. You know what I mean? But like front to back, the 4 hours, I don't watch them all.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but definitely mental notes. Definitely like, looking a little bit at the analytics, like where people are falling off and that kind of thing. But I tend to do it from like 50,000 feet, where it's like, for example, like we are and have been probably accurately labeled like a sort of a Lego Star Wars live stream, and I purposefully, just for my own sanity and genuine interest in learning, being more well-rounded and having a bigger tool belt, I wanted to get more into other themes and just kind of absorb it, and so part of that trade-off is you'll notice the heater episodes in terms of like views and whatever. It's like, when you get into those big numbers, those are Star Wars shows, and that's cool. But then it's like we do the other ones, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's like consciously forfeiting, but consciously forfeiting, like, all right, some guys, look at some of the shows Tyler won't show up to. He's like, that's dust. We're not talking about it. And so I just think I think it invites everybody, and I think we've been having fun, like learning about more topics. And what I like to hear is like, well, even though we don't care about the subject matter, we still want to hang. And I from the beginning, very consciously, it's like, I will never be a Lego expert. You've never heard me break down a set from like a technical standpoint or anything like that. It's really just how we genuinely feel about it, whatever, and goofing with the boys and everything.
That angle has always made more sense to me, because it's not like you're building this massive. You're not making The Godfather, where you want
right.
3 epic movies,
yeah,
and
right.
Instead you get 2, and then what comes after it? It's a leisurely activity. It's some fun, stress relief.
Yeah, and people know where to go to get, like, we always talk about Jang. Like, if you want that, man, go do that and do this. Like, So, but yeah, I've probably said it like a dozen times, but it's seriously the best comment, or I don't know, one of the most memorable comments, and I forget where it was and who said it and all that stuff, but people were like, you guys don't even know that much about Lego, and just factually untrue. I don't know the most, but I know a good amount. Your viewers are just there because they like you and they think you're funny or whatever, or they enjoy the music or whatever. It was an attempt at a dig, basically, to say you don't know shit about Lego, and they're only there.
A great compliment.
And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, now you get it exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
which some of the gurus advise against, because they're like, well, if you don't have the authority on this thing and they don't like you, then you got nothing. So, but if you notice, we keep a rotating cast of characters, so they don't even necessarily need to like me. They need to like somebody on there. They need to like the time slot. They need to like the fact that there's a Lego show on that they can rely on every week.
Yeah.
And then you can just kind of make up ground in other ways.
Yeah. And just when they're overwhelmed with Star Wars content, Sarah will be on or something. Just everything switches up.
I mean, there's times when we are. I mean, we were talking off air, like, if you've done 3 in a row, it's like, yeah, every May the 4th we do, the day before the 1st, the day of the 1st when it was on sale, and then the 3rd and the second, whatever. I feel like we do a lot of streams this week. It's at least 3. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes I need a break from it. It's like, we talked about the same 12 sets for 9 hours total in a row. It's like, all right, what's going on with the dinos?
So. The dino thing, you turn that into a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, I like dinos. I mean, who doesn't? What red-blooded, person, quite frankly, doesn't like the dinos? At least a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think at least the guys, every one of us grew up with dinos to some extent.
My wife's a huge dino head. I got lucky. So.
Perfect.
She was D1B in the new Jurassic Park with me and the kiddos, so that was good.
Oh, man. Day one is tough.
Well, when it's over the summer, though,
yeah,
it's not too bad. No, I'm not talking about buying the sets, by the way. I'm talking about the move, going to see it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Right on. Yeah. That makes sense.
You got to get one to scratch the itch. That's the rule. But don't buy the wave, man. As much as I like to ride the wave, you got to kind of chill on that.
Yeah, it's full price when you know that the discount is inevitable.
Yeah, it's painful, but like, just to be part of the fever. Yeah. Get a 30 or 40 boy, so you don't feel like a fool when a Dark Falcon thing happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild. Was it 100, 110 off?
Yeah, people were running around saying, people that set was 180, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because people were saying half off. I'm like, it was more than half off.
Yep.
Because it was 80. I'm pretty sure it was 180. It's not 160.
Yeah, 180.
I guess there's a way to fact check it, but the point is, like, that was so cool to see everybody get that, especially those who held out. I didn't manage waiting that long, but that was cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking when they say half price, it's from the 140, 145, whatever we've been seeing it at.
Yeah, maybe I always go to the retail or whatever.
Yeah, it's more exciting that way too.
Yeah,
bigger price break. Yeah. So, in building the show, how much of your focus was within the show itself versus trying to actually get people and bring them in? Did you promote the show at all, or was that all organic? What happened there?
Promote the show in what sense?
Mostly social media, things like that.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people are like, and by the way, people get knocked for this, but you can advertise and spend money and all that stuff and drive traffic. Obviously, for those unaware, you can do that. Even on YouTube, you can boost things and all that. But no, we didn't really do that. I think Brent and I did a show or two together, and then I was like, hey, I want to meet, because at the time, again, I felt like, and I've since learned there's been some really long-term podcasts, whatever reason, they weren't like really showing up. So it's not to slight anybody. But I was just like, hey, I've become, and I had consumed the content, the Lego stuff for, a year plus. And so there were some people that I was just like genuinely interested in meeting and talking to. And so I was like, well, I mean, talk shows usually have guests. And I think early on I was like, I want this to be like more of a show than a podcast. And that means you have to bring other elements, which we got to later. But I think one of the things, and you can call it a strategy, but I love when a strategy or anything that's rewarding and growth or whatever is also fun too. You know, you're not doing it just to grind. I wanted to meet these people. And so one of the things that people always ask me is like, well, how did you manage with, I don't know, 12 subs to pull so-and-so, just pull so-and-so in. And when you, even when you had 150, even where we're at now, you know, which is good for our size, I've been told, but you know, we're not anywhere among the heavyweights. Like, how did you get, and it's like, I just reached out, you know, and explained the situation. I do business development for a living, so I kind of know how to talk to people, but that was really it. There was no magic. And by the way, we've been told no, left on ignore, all the stuff you hear, take 20 no's to get a yes, you know, that kind of thing. Like, you know, it's not magic. It's, again, it's old man talk, but it's everything everybody tells you. Just, you know, keep trying and grind.
Yeah.
And
do you feel like
you get one on, and then they had a good time, and then you can get them back, and then you know.
When you get a no or a no reply or anything, do you follow up on that, or you just chalk it up to, you know?
Depends on my level of interest. But if I took the step to reach out, I'm probably following up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Social media is tough because you don't know if they're actually seeing it, or if you're, you know, it's a small fish or whatever. If they're just like, oh, I'll come back to it later. And
well, it's even weirder is it's that, which is normal human shit, right?
Yep.
Right. Life gets in the way. But then there's stuff where it's like, what's the real reason? Where they're not responding, or they tell you they can, or they say the dog ate their homework or whatever.
Yeah.
And I will say, compared to any other gig I've done in life where I've had to try to get a hold of people, and I'm not just blowing smoke up the community's ass, but everybody here is super cool. Yeah. At least, you know, in my purview. Are there bad actors? Sure, everywhere, right, in life. But I'm saying overall, I mean, from day one, there was very, and again, if this happens, it's not, I don't think, to our virtual faces if I don't know them, but it's always like, I can't, da 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 da, and they'll tell you why, and da da da. But I mean, most of the time, overwhelmingly, it's, you got like a 95 whatever % hit rate. If we really want somebody on, I don't just say, hey, come on our show, da da da. I kind of like introduce it if I get a sense they don't know it. Now at this point, we can say we've had guests on like this, we've hosted Brick World. You can layer it with accolades, and even when we had nothing, I was layering in accolades. Like, why, we're a new show, and we're here to learn, and we, you know, maybe your audience would enjoy hearing you talk for 2 hours about anything else. You make these great videos, but they don't know much about you. Come on our show, and they'll get to learn more about you. You got to, what's in it for me always when you're trying to get somebody on.
Is that okay?
So just remember, like, in every conversation, some sort of sale is taking place. And I stole that, and that's a cool line from a movie. But it's called Boiler Room. Check it out. But if you haven't, it's about the stock guys. It's crazy. But in every conversation, like, something's happening.
Yeah, there's always a transaction.
There's, in some way, and it's not even on purpose. Usually, it's human nature. It's just like, went here for this thing. Did I get what I wanted? No, I got to do better next time. Find out why they didn't give you what you want. Might be impossible. Might not.
Yeah, it's thinking back at some of your past guests. Most of them have been creator related. You know, people in kind of the same area. One that really jumps to mind, though, is you had the ex Lego employee that came on and talked about the VIP program. What had you come up with that idea to reach out there?
So full disclosure, that was all Fritzy. That was all Fritz. So Fritz buys a lot of the Lego, as you guys know. The guy's a maniac. You got to see it live too. It was crazy seeing it live at Brick World. He was running as like Santa Claus in there. Reverse Santa Claus. He was buying all their shit, throwing it in his bag. But as is known, he's a big buyer, and I guess they connected with him through whatnot. Started with a full couple of small from. I hope he's. Or I think he's told the story. It's fine. Started with a few smaller transactions. The guy had some heat, obviously, and then come to find out, he had the most heat probably of anyone when it comes to exclusives and stuff. And it turns out, I believe, I'm not going to dox him, but he lived very nearby where Fritz was within a reasonable amount of time to get there. And so Fritzy was starting to make his own stuff or whatever and doing some stuff with us. And he just said, "Hey, would you ever?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I don't remember if he had like a non-compete or an NDA, whatever. But after like a month's time, he was finally comfortable and ready to go. And we went right in, and we knew the assignment. It was like, dude, we got the former lord of the GWPs and the insider points and all that stuff here. And we just knew immediately we're going to go black card with it. We had to, and it was cool because I guess as you learned, I think it was already out there. He started in and around when that was happening, so he had a really good recollection of that. And yeah, I mean, look, I will say, I'm glad you talked about that. Having a lot of more of the YouTubers and stuff on. I think I have actually reached out to a lot of designers. I've had designers tell us they appreciate us and all this stuff, and I've actually asked them to come on, and they won't because we're not. I don't think they do that in general, and also we're not land, Yeah. And I don't know that. I'm trying to think of who even would do that, unless Lego's promoting something. Again, not to call anybody out, but I was talking with the and I forget his name. I'm horrible with names. For a sales guy, I'm horrible with names. But the Jurassic World lead designer for months, and he really wanted to do it. And we went back and forth, and they just wouldn't let him do it.
That sucks.
He liked the song. He loves our passion for the dinos. It was perfect. So that's one of those times where it's like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Would he have been allowed to if you had a land member on?
I don't know. It ended up netting out. You have to write media at, and I've written them about so many things, and they don't answer. So,
okay.
I was told to do that to film in stores. They've never answered us once. Huh. So, at a much smaller scale, I get why Ryan feels the way he feels, because it's we're trying to do it by the book.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. We're one of the bigger, most consistent, weekly live streams on the thing on YouTube. We're not, somebody just getting rolling and asking for these, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't try to have the big head thing about it, but I'm looking at it logically from what would it hurt to have a 2-hour interview with a designer or whatever, if they were up for it. Yeah. I'm not going to ask them for leaks. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
You
don't the land guys for leaks.
I don't even do that to my friends that come on, right? I'm we probably can't talk about that. I pre-screen it for them. I don't want them to have to feel weird about it. So
yeah, they did a pretty good job about not ruining the already ruined Death Star, huh?
Yeah,
I don't know how they kept that quiet, because somebody had to have known and been real mad and wanted to vent
about the Death Star.
Yeah, about what a mess that thing is. I don't know.
They didn't want it leaked, you mean?
Well, I'm thinking if I was in LAN and a big Star Wars fan, and I caught wind that there was going to be $1,000 Death Star, and then I found out more details before everybody else, as a fan, I would want to rant to somebody about it.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
They managed to keep that under wraps for a long time.
I'd imagine David's elbow deep in building it right now, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a whole bag of commentary about how all that's handled. It's like the only point I've ever heard is I do as someone, I don't consider myself any kind of artist, but for example, even the little small, less relevant shit we do, I would feel pretty shitty if it got out before I was ready to release it the way in a finished product. You know what I mean? Like from that perspective, I totally get it.
Yeah.
You know, like that part I do. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what it's about. I think it's they want to soup to nuts, as not just giant corporations do, but just even mid-sized companies. They want to control the narrative. They want to do it on their timeline. They want to do it how they want to do it. There's a brand voice. There's all these, you know, weirdo ninja business tropes that kind of like feed into it, stuff that just a lot of people aren't going to understand. That said, I think like they don't, as far as I know, they don't spend much. They don't spend much on, not as I would bet they don't spend as much on advertising as they could, right? Because they rely on like a lot of us in the community to do it.
Yeah.
Like they certainly don't make TV commercials, and like what even is TV anymore, right? But like, but like I don't know. I've never seen. I mean, you know me enough to know like to me, hype is like half of it, and it's like why are you killing your own hype? We're all excited about it. All we're doing is promoting it in effect. Now, you might not like everything everybody has to say about it, but like that's going to happen eventually anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the wildest thing as of late is like the land members just slamming the shit out of everything they're doing, and they're fine with it. And it's just like cool. Yeah. Like I'm cool with it. I'm just shocked they're allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
And also I would say probably start thinking about bringing in some new blood, because as I've been in it, it's like we're far more jaded than we were 4 years ago about stuff. I used to say I was never going to talk about price because like who cares, whatever, that's part of life. It's like been roped in on that now it's super ridiculous, but anyway.
You go in understanding that it's a luxury toy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this isn't just some generic.
It's not a right.
Yeah.
No, and I'll call it. Just say it's just a bad move. A lot of this stuff. It's just, but they have so far to fall before they truly screw it up. And I think people, the sooner they realize that, it's just like got to let it play out. Get a couple of if you're making record profits every year, you can't stop what you're doing. No one's ever done that in the history of ever. Unless there was just like this clear iceberg where they're intentionally going to be like, you know what, boss, I want to make less next year and do the right thing by the fans. I don't think that's ever happened.
No, but
they'll say it's happened after they didn't make the quarter. Well, the reason why was it's like, no, that was so you've heard that trope, Ken. It's like you got to hit rock bottom before you build yourself back up. Or in their case, some kind of slight derailment.
Well, I mean, they've hit rock.
I'm hoping we're close because some of this stuff's wild. But then they do stuff where there's like a lot of good with some of the pricing and stuff, which is very fair. There's still deals out there and things that make sense. It's just a lot of it doesn't. Life Bricks, $1,000 Death Star should have been a Comic Call full reveal. 100%.
Yep. Well, and there you go, talking about hype. That would have been a good spot for that.
There's nowhere more hype to do that. What would it have hurt to do that 3 weeks or whatever the hell it was earlier at Comic Con? The epicenter of. Now, one could say, well, there's too much. I've heard this a lot, actually. There's too much competition. There's too much noise, right? It's kind of like Ken running. Companies have shied away from like Black Friday, for example. And by that, I don't mean like your normal retailers. I'm saying like the brands themselves are like, back in the day, everybody would put their best offer forward. 30% off, right? Black Friday weekend. But a lot of brands have been like, no, it's too much noise out there. And why am I going to drop my pants from 100 to 70? And even if they didn't buy it that time, they're going to wait. They're going to expect it again. They're going to expect us to do that 70. But they didn't buy that because they bought the other thing at the time. And all you've got as a result is them knowing you have the ability to go that low, and they kind of hold it against you until you do it again. So a lot of companies backed off. So if I had to guess, it would probably be that there was too much noise. They were worried about. But to that I say, fuck that. You make your own noise and make it louder. I think $1,000 Death Star would have been a top 10 story of everything that was going on at Comic-Con, probably.
Yeah, I mean, and the alternative is they put 25, 30 people in some shitty chairs and pull a blanket off a table for a reveal.
Over there.
Yeah, when they do those reveals.
Oh, with the fake ooze, yeah, they go.
Yeah,
the funniest part to me is the fake ooze. Yeah, I love that, man. I love it so much. The legit ones are cool, but I like when they pull like that lousy Spider-Man bust. You know, they're like it's like, no, come on. Man.
I think
I don't even know if I'd go audible. If I was in there, I'd be like, that's the most they'd get out of me.
Somebody played a recording from the bus where you could very clearly hear somebody say, "Oh," it's like the sound of disgust.
Good.
Oh, it was awesome.
Well, I mean, you know, they can't all be winners.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's a Vader and Yoda bus coming out now.
It's in the name, man.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a tiny boy, Tyler's going to wipe his ass with it and be done with it. I always like to see the stuff. And if you want to talk Deathy for a minute, let's get into that. I really like it a lot.
Yeah,
I do. I was disappointed as Get Cooped and some of our friends were telling us some stuff, and I was like, okay, because I was already. I mean, you know us. I mean, I was down the road of like, boys, we've pulled it off with the ATT. We've pulled it off with the sail barge. Still, shockingly, one of the most underrated sets of all time. Shout out to the GOAT. But no, I mean, I was like, okay, so boom, 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 right? We got the playable, displayable. We called it the AT treatment, and I think I was just already down the road. Like, they're gonna do that. They're gonna have the panels. You can display it. You can play it. Who gives a shit? It's gonna be great. So when I heard that wasn't the case, I was like, oh shit, high alert. And then I heard the shape wouldn't be right, and I heard this and that, and then I was like, all right, not loving it. Saw it, and not at first sight, but like 5 minutes after really scrolling the thing, you know, all the options that were available, I was like, it's a fucking heater, man. Like, I really like it. The only tangible thing that I don't like, and it's not the price, because we knew that for a year now. Everybody's still been out of shape on the price, and I get it. I mean, it's stupid money, but I was like, tangibly, I already have a lot of those components, right? As do you, I'm sure, and a lot of collectors. We already have multiple final duels. We already have what I thought was a great and underrated trash compactor diorama. And the list goes on and on and on. The shuttle of this, the figs, even whatever. And so I was like, yeah, but now I've been in it long enough to deserve some of that. You know what I mean? Like that. I only bought one Imperial shuttle. There's guys who've bought 6 or however many have been released up to this date. So they're gonna feel even more burned. But outside of that, that's just like a me problem. I already have all that, a lot of those elements and those figs and whatever. But it's like the whole package, man. I think it's great. What do you think?
I think I need to see it, like actually see it
in person
in front of me, and then maybe I'll feel better. I can't get my head around the scale of it. Like I understand the dimensions.
There's a really good picture I saw earlier where it's sitting on a desk or on it looked like a TV console against the wall. It is huge.
Yeah. Okay. And
so I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but
Yeah, I mean
That's not going to turn you off if you're into the girth, man. It's it's massive.
Yeah, that would probably, well, so somebody did an overlay with the UCS Falcon.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's.
But you can picture the Falcon upright.
That's what I'm saying, right? And dude, till you see a Falcon in person, I would say, and you know this. This is why I respect that you're saying you want to see it in person. Coop, anybody out there? Can you guys possibly send a link to? There's an image floating around that's been cropped up until today, in my knowledge. Oh, it's an AI pic? Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's probably why it's on a damn TV stand. But it was against a wall where a TV would be, and it had the same lighting, which is weird as one of the stock images, I thought.
Okay.
But it's like a lot of people aren't going to have room for it. But one thing I'm a fan of, Ken, is like, even though we didn't get exactly what we thought we were getting, a true sphere with the AT-AT treatment, even with this, it's like, where the hell do you put that thing? I think everybody thought they wanted this big round ball, and it's like, unless even if you're loaded and you have a multi-million-dollar house, that's still a big space commitment. Most of us don't have that situation, so it's like, where the F does this go?
And how do you mount or display a ball?
You don't. Oh, here you go. He sent it to me. I guess it's AI, but I'm wondering if it's in scale. But like, look at that, man. Like, if that's truly how big that is, I'm surprised I didn't catch that. But
yeah, so I mean, I guess in the scheme of things,
it is probably in scale, because
that's all I really wanted. But I wanted the back of it to be a ball, so you could display it either way.
Fatal flaw, and if people don't buy it as a result of that, like, totally on board.
Yeah.
I think there should have been a swivel or something in a way to just make it the way you want it. 100% agree. That was my second issue. First issue, it's like rebuying all that stuff, but that's a me problem. Second one, tangibly, could have given us, a little depth on the other half. But yeah,
it's because at $1,000 you have to cater to two markets, like play and display. I think you kind of need them both there.
Bearded, pull up his comment there.
Rotating tabletops in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just light it up like it's a hologram.
I mean, I've loved the somewhat whatever solution of putting the Falc like in the middle of the room. Or they've made it a coffee table, just simply a way to stash the damn thing. Like, I love it.
It's so
tangibly, I think that would have been a hard sort of solve for that, So.
Yeah, I mean, to me, anything that size just to work in my life basically has to be wall mountable. I have no flat surfaces big enough for that, and two little animals running around. $1,000 set. If I can't put it on the wall.
I'm looking around here. I mean, I don't have a big space here. I mean, I have a spot for it, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on the fence, man. As far as like D1B, I guess we need to see the G-Dub, which we're hearing is a tie. Like, I'll get it before it retires, certainly. And if I don't get it around launch, it's definitely going to be just waiting for a miracle, Prime Day, something that happened this morning kind of situation where it's like, it's either FPJ or the lowest of the low. Like, if it's a hunch off, it's like, no, I've waited this long. I can wait till it hits 7 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a bottom. So.
Yeah, you got to wonder how that'll play out with May the 4th sales, if it'll eventually get 4 times points or something to make it worthwhile.
If it's 4 times points, and then there's a couple other factors, right? It's like, maybe. I'm not a big points chaser.
Yeah,
I have a lot of points. I can buy. I can 2/3 last I checked the way to getting the Death Star for free.
Nice.
But I'm not a points chaser because, I mean, I know you know this better than anyone, but it's like, dude, hard dollars are hard dollars as far as like savings. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in the the chasing. I always hear that. I'll wait for an insider. It's like, why? Just wait till something like today happens.
Yep.
Wait till Targs does it. Wait till Nobes gets caught slipping. Wait till Coles does their thing. Like, what are we talking about here? I'd rather have the hard dollars. I get that it's like a little bank account and that's nice, but once you start letting some like G dubs go, especially about things you don't care about, it's a lot easier to skip them. I wanted the Fortnite ones because I thought, well, they'll probably, and they'll probably, I don't know what they're going to end up at. 70, $80, $100, depends on where the theme goes, whatever, long term. But I'm just like, I'm not going to chase that.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to push you over the edge when you were just right sitting on the fence anyway. It's like,
I just did not happen to care about Fortnite, right? If it was the right thing, like I wanted Soundwave fully intended, but I was like, what's the rush? I've got my log is enormous. Can I say that? No, it is. I mean, I have an embarrassing backlog, and I'm just like, I don't deserve the Soundwave right now. And there's no. If they had put any Transformer, anything G-Dub, you got me. Yeah. If they had done, I say anything, but, just a traditional $20, $30 piece that you're never going to see again, I'm in. But they did Fortnite. So did Fortnite even drop a new set in this wave? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Right? They still have the same bus, or maybe they did. They did another. Oh, they did the burger restaurant.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, no heaters though. I don't think.
No, not like the first one. That bus was awesome.
And that waiting on it as soon as that, as soon as that one gets where it needs to get for me to be interested. That's definitely one I'll get before it retires because I just like the piece. I don't necessarily care about Fortnite. That's as far as I got in Fortnite was the damn bus. So I respect the bus because I got killed so quickly.
That was popping up at 50 or so at a bunch of Walmarts on clearance. If that had been accessible, I would have grabbed it at that price. That was a good one. But no clearance around here basically ever. So we're gonna ask that.
I have a pretty stingy Walmart too. Like it killed them that I got that deal online and had to go pick it up in store. Like, how'd you get this one past us? Like your website. I knew you'd never give me a $80 Falc, bastards. Yeah. Like if you would have put this for $80, you guys would have sold out of them immediately, and you wouldn't have had to use resources to go pull it from the back and do. You know what I mean? There's so many little things that are just wild.
Yeah,
what a waste of resources now that I'm thinking about it. If they had just put everything that they had, which granted, they still probably have some left. I didn't check, but it's like, and then those could be full price. So I guess it's like, sometimes these things are not to sell out. It's just to level off inventory. And I think that's what happened today because you saw that there wasn't a lot of stuff that was sold out. They just went back up to FPJ. So they were just trying to bump the inventory down a little bit.
When I was selling toys in general before the whole Lego thing, we would see in the clearance cycles that they would run out a bunch of shit just to get rid of, potentially dinged up boxes, whatever, just kind of reset the aisle for cleanliness sake. And then put out the same damn product again, which strangely, sometimes it had a different UPC, but it was like the identical product.
Yeah.
That's a little over my head. I don't know why they do that part.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they'll do what we'll call like a running change, and they'll just change like there's a couple scenarios where they'll change the UPC. They could be doing a running change where they make like a subtle improvement to the product. There's not that there's like anything dangerous or ultra bad about the existing one. And I'm not talking about food, right? Just like items. But they'll do that and then they'll make a running change. It could just be packaging related and we don't know it. There could be a typo. There could be something wrong with the instruction manual. There could be one of the steps in the instructions is wrong. I mean, think about things and reasons why it's happened with Lego or whatever. That's something you are knowledgeable about, and be like, oh, okay, because it could be that way for the products you're talking about too. The other reason for UPC changes is it helps you mitigate price matching.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give you a really tangible example. Costco, right? Not for Lego. They have the same damn SKUs. It's wild. But Samsung, you know, king of the flat screens, whatever, right? They're all over the place. But let's just talk about their big screens. I'm making this up, but they'll have a model. They're 4K, top of the line, whatever, yada yada, right? And it'll be like the MT5000C. The C is for Costco, and so that prevents. They also, who else did they sell to, right?
Yeah.
They sell to Walmart, Target,
Everybody.
Best Buy, Amazon, and so if they put the MT5000 out, now it's not the same item, and now Costco, whomever, doesn't have to price match because they put that one character at the end, and now it's a different model number.
That's smart.
Yeah. Or they'll do a color variant or something. But Costco generally, which is wild with their relation, it's not always the case, but Costco generally wants you to have some sort of club exclusive. And I'm really surprised, and Coop knows this stuff, anybody that's super knowledgeable. I feel like they've maybe done a few of those value packs there. I know they did like a Monster Jam one. I think they did a mech one that might have been Kohl's. I'm surprised they haven't done more shit like that, because I've worked with Costco, selling into Costco for 15 some odd years. You always, besides price, you also, in addition to having the best price, you have to give them some kind of exclusive, whether it's a color variant or a bundle. You know, if you notice when you buy a Switch there, if you see the Switches there, they don't just sell the Switch. You get a second controller, you get the memory stick, whatever. Like they generally want you to have they want an exclusive, period. They want to provide extra value.
The Lego delivery truck was a Costco exclusive for a little while. I think what was it, 3 months or something?
I don't mean exclusive in the way that Lego says that. I mean, like,
okay.
The shit is only at Costco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lego's big enough, and they probably wanted it bad enough to where they're like, okay, fine, yeah, just make us the only retailer. And that's a good point by you. It could be. I don't think it's happened much beyond that, because they had Baby Yodes just now. He was everywhere. Mm-hmm. My point is, like, a whole new SKU, like the value pack that Walmart does. I'm shocked Costco doesn't have something like that, because that's more Costco than it is Walmart, which is wild.
Yeah.
It's more Sam's than it is Walmart.
Who's responsible for the Walmart 3-packs? Does Lego actually provide the packaging on that, or does Walmart? I wonder.
Lego, 100%.
Yeah.
The decision to do it is collaborative between the sales rep that owns the Walmart account and then the buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, that's all negotiated there, and then the Lego team will execute the packaging, etc. They'll agree on what it is, price point. Knowing what we know now, they probably just say, hey man, we need a $50. Is that what those go for? 50, I think, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. We need a $50 thing. Come back to me with some ideas. Okay. Here's what we can give you. We can give you whatever it is, $70 in value. Cool.
Yeah, I think
that's it.
Prior to this year, I think this year it changed a bit. There was always like one retiring set in there, and then two that weren't. This year, I don't think anything in that pack is retiring this year.
Yeah,
which was a strange one.
Which might be a sea change. I think all of us are decently smart. We're usually like, oh, it's because you want to get rid of the old shit.
Right.
But I agree. I think I don't know if this MTT move and it's on Amazon, but I don't know if that's unprecedented to have a brand new set also come in a multi-pack. Like a Coop, has that happened before? I think that's pretty unprecedented.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That we're getting. Well, I mean, the poly is the only dust in there. The rest are, freshy, brand new sets. So they're definitely trying stuff with that.
And they only put a discount on it for 24 hours. That
What
was
was it before? Was it like?
It was $10 cheaper, if I remember right, but only for a day.
It's 205, and it was like 195 for a day or 190.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I remember because I pulled it up again. I'm like, it was sub 200 last time I looked at this. Yeah.
I mean, that's wild work. Just making a multi-pack and not putting any discount on it.
Coop saying, very unprecedented. Mech 3-pack is the close similarity. It was 195 for 14 hours. There you go. So, but you know what this tells us, Ken? I mean, we've been around this long enough. You certainly. That thing's primed though for Prime Day or Black Friday. I mean, it's they're not stupid. They're setting the mark because nobody's buying that other than for the novelty at this point. They're not buying it because it's a deal. They're buying it because they want to have a collectible, and that's cool. And there are people who will and have, and that part's smart. But that thing is designed to move.
Yeah.
I think if you get to close to the price of the MTT itself, you'll get a lot of takers. You get that thing around 160, 170 on Black Friday, it's going to go.
Yeah. It's City put out a video yesterday or something. I think it was called "This is not a Lego deal" or something like that. Just breaking down where prices are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, some of these at 40% off, you're just reaching what RRP is supposed to be, and it's just gross. The span of a year.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, it's yeah. It's tough, no doubt.
All right. So, getting back to your show, because I had a couple other questions there that I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. And you had mentioned, making it a show.
Right.
Did you know early on that you wanted to get music involved?
Yeah. I mean, I think from the outset, because I remember it might have been Claire. What is it? She hasn't done stuff in so long.
Plastic
Architect. Yeah. Sorry, Claire. We had her on like relatively early ish. And I remember I learned a couple things. One, she was on and I did our normal thing of like, playing just our ACOB, song, and I could see her going like, what the fuck is this? And so it immediately told me like, you've never watched the show. It's cool that you came on without watching it. Like, I appreciate it, but clearly you haven't watched the show. And again, I don't blame anybody for not knowing, whatever. I mean, I've been on people's show where, well, I'm sorry, I do go watch it before I'll accept before watching it, but I'm going to watch it before I go on because you got to know the rhythm, right? The cadence. But it taught me a lot of things. The fact that she was shocked by it and she'd been, around the game. She had her own podcast. She had all this other stuff going on. She knows everybody. The fact that she was floored by it was cool and unexpected. And the second part was she's like, I don't know what that was, but it was so rad or whatever she said. And it was like, to me, that's just like, that's table stakes to have an intro song. You know what I mean? Like, and we're by no means am I saying we're the first ones to ever do that, but it's like, yeah, like that's very much so. Like I kind of base on a little bit of what we do is like what would I enjoy, because I feel like I have a pretty good nose for entertainment, at least for myself. And then there's table stakes, like you gotta you're doing a show, you gotta have a theme song, don't you? I mean, you don't have to. You can open cold, but like a little theme song.
Yeah.
And then I've always been really into music, especially like rap and stuff. I used to do a little bit of it back in the day. I used to do like, I think I've talked about this. I used to do the rap battle stuff before even Eminem. I'm old, but I mean, I was in bars like just shredding and getting shredded by people just doing that. So I've always loved it, and to this day, I mean, the problem is finding the time, finding, especially now, legal ways to like acquire beats. It's tough, you know. Like I make decent beats, but making sure I'm not being too loud. Okay, I make like decent beats, but like they take time and whatever. And so, yes, admittedly, you know, this AI stuff came up where like you could describe what you wanted to do. And by the way, we've even bought beats, and like even when you have the license for it, you still get copyrights and stuff. It's crazy. Like every time we play certain songs that I own the rights for, I get the videos temporarily demonetized. Submit your certificate. I submit the certificate, and they go, "Oh, my bad." And I talked to our rep, and I was like, because now we have a rep, they talk to us now, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, tell your guys, like, if it's the same thing over and over again, can I just like pull this? It's good for, it's a lifetime thing." And these guys they build a business on just like copywriting everybody, and they know some people will just go, "I don't want to deal with it," and they'll just collect whatever. I won't, you know. Anyways, so with this AI stuff, it's like, I mean, if I'm giving the inputs on the beat, and I see they're trying to like monetize it a little bit now. Sorry, something's beeping that's bothering me. Those though, it's like your creation, whatever, and I think they'll get slick about it. And I'm sure they're going to try to pull the rug out from under everybody. But you know, where everybody's like FAI and all this stuff, and it's like, well, this thing is letting me get beats now, and I don't have to worry about, not yet, you know, getting copyrights and stuff like that. So that's why I took advantage of that. And then I think one of the misconceptions, though, and I get that people feel that it's cheating or a shortcut or what. I get that. I do. I mean, but in order to make it like good, you have to work at it and use it as a tool, you know. And it's another tool. If I wasn't doing this, I'd have to figure out the long grind of buying beats and dealing with that and paying for it. And even when you pay for it, you're still getting slapped on the wrist, and it just wasn't worth it. So once that unlocked, and I did like the first one, and the second, the first, I don't even know how many we're up to now. I've just been having fun with it. It's just a way to get something in my head out there, and which otherwise wouldn't have been done, quite frankly, because I just don't. It's just crazy sourcing that stuff, and we're not made of money here either. Like, even if you had unlimited resources, which we don't, nowhere near, not even close, it's still hard to do. And so that's why, man, like, yes, I always was like, man, now we got to a point where people know certain things about certain people, and like, it's time, like, let's go with this. And I love that it's become part of the brand identity.
Yeah, for the people that think it's cheating, they should try to create like a 10-second song that leads to dozens of people singing it as they walk around their house.
Yeah.
That's no small task.
Well, I mean, and that's the problem, right? So it's like some people have that mindset of like, and I don't think it's our audience, by the way. I think, you know, people who are middling or whatever go like, oh, they do that. And it's like, if you want to dismiss it as that, which, by the way, most people don't do it the right way, in my opinion. But it's also like there's people who can't play the guitar for shit either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're technically playing the guitar, but they suck at it. It's people who suck at making AI music. It's like that's for the few who have like to my face or virtually said like, "Oh man, that's like hack shit." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll make a better song that works for us, for our audience, of about joke inside. It's all inside joke shit that only our guys will get." And I mean, it gets down to like, if I can't hear clearly what they're saying, if the beat is too strong, if it's the wrong genre, if the beats per minute is off, if it's too long, if it's too short, if it breaks, if it mispronounces one word in there that gives away that it's AI, I'm scrutinizing all that. And I just feel like most people go in there and be like, make a rap song about hot dogs. And they'll play it and they'll be like, it's a shitty AI song.
Yeah.
And I think the first few times you pull it off, you're like really impressed with yourself. You know, you're like, and I was like, man, I told them to make a rap about Lego Star Wars, print it. But then I was like, no, we need to make this about Amperu, or we need to make this about this. And then I write all our own lyrics and everything into it too, and the choruses and all that. So
that's bananas.
But thanks for asking, because you know it does come up, and it's like, I get it. There's a little bit of stank on it, but I feel like I'm working it as equal to as I could if I had access to, like I said, just beats where I knew I could just buy them and never be questioned about them again. That's really all it is for me. It's the lyrics coming out the ass. I can do that all day long. It's just the other parts I just, you know. And by the way, I'd be happy to perform them too, and you know we've done that too. It's not a matter of I can't rap or I can do that too. It's just quick turn time.
Yeah. It's a whole lot of work to actually do all of that yourself. And
it's more than people think. We put a music video to it. We do, you know. It's like,
yeah. Do you make all of the videos yourself, or do you have AI chop that up?
No, I do all that. That's why they're so bad. But they have their own like horribleness to them, so I kind of like it.
Yeah, there you go. They all fit exactly how they're supposed to.
They could be better. They need to be better. I could spend more time on them, but it's like, it's 30 seconds. Let's just have fun with this thing.
Do they need to be better though?
I always want things to be better. Sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course, just.
No, but I get you. Like, I think if you try too hard, it still sucks. Like, you get a pass, like, well, they clearly didn't try.
Yeah.
I have an issue with low effort when you hear things like low effort, when it's like, when you're a person that's more of a Swiss Army knife than a specialist in one thing, it's really hard to do high effort on anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've been described that, like, my whole, like, professionally, they're like, bring in Sean, he's pretty good at a lot of things. He's probably an expert at one or two, but like he can fake it through the other 6 things good enough.
Yep.
So I bring that mentality to it too.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's watching the show expecting, cinema,
Scorsese, whatever, Pearl Jam. Yeah.
I think most of us would be disappointed if we saw something like
too crisp.
Yeah.
Like Box of Boys is going to be peak. That's a full music video with humans, and that's why
that was such
one
a
of those
level.
Yeah.
So with all of that, it's you put out videos. You write your own song, and then you have your own toy line or sub theme, whatever. Now there's an ACOB Lego theme. That's wild.
Yeah, that's all shout out to it's all credited to Stud Lake, man. I mean it when I say it. I mean, none of that's possible without him. Again, like the part we did is, we've been hanging with the boys and all that, and so there was I think it took us 2.5-3 years before we made a fig. And people were just like, just make the hell are they even called, sig figs? And I was like, I don't know, man, everybody does that. What can we do? And so I put that out there, and he just hit me up. He's like, hey man, I have some ideas. And so we chopped it up, and I knew him from the stream and online stuff, but I hadn't really like talked to him and stuff. And so we just started talking about things, and we decided to go big with it and take a shot. And it, people are buying enough to sustain it. Again, we always say like no one's getting rich off it, blah blah blah. But like if it's something that we enjoy making, as long as the guys enjoy getting them, and like wants to do it, then it'll be a thing. But yeah, none of that happens with that. We have gotten to figs and eventually limped into that, sure. But to be able to go big and just flat out do a set, none of that happens without Lake.
Yeah, that's a wild undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
Versus just, it's, I think everybody, what is it, Brick Love that everybody uses, like, all right, just, do a one-off or something for me. It's wild.
Again, it's not to knock anybody for doing that. It's a speed to market. No. I mean, City's done like one a month with them for a year or whatever. Like, cool, man. Like, that's awesome. It's not what I wanted to do. Yeah. I couldn't even decide on like what the fig would be. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I guess what it turned out like. I'm always wearing our own shit, so it'd be something like that. But it's like, to me, honestly, it's like we're pretty boring. The way I'll tell you what it really boiled down to was like I don't have a cape, I don't have a sab. Like to me, that's like an ass City figure, and I don't mean I'm talking about Lego City. You know what I mean? Like your normie ass City. We would be normie ass City figures without the set surrounding it to kind of amplify it. There's nothing special about us, aesthetically, especially. I mean, Brent's handsome. I'm just like career high 7 in my peak, and that was it. So, and I'm talking like early 20s. Yeah. That was it though. So
early 20s, yeah.
Mid I was pulling. I was doing all right. Yeah.
Early 20s were a long time ago for us.
Tyler wants a 9,000 piece UCS shot house build. There you go.
Yeah. Well,
Lake, he'd be elated if he's on Pearl Jam.
Make Lego Sean large again, big again, whatever he says.
Hey Lake, I want to upscale Sean and Brent 2-pack like Harry and Hermione. Can we get on that?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can.
I'm not talking one of those cheating 3D printed things. See how I did that? I want brick built. I want a brick built just like Harry and Hermione.
Or at least the upscaled Sean figure.
Yeah.
Put him next to the astronaut kind of deal. Because the Harry and Hermione ones, those were bigger than the upscaled astronaut, weren't they?
Well, the astronaut's just a baby.
Well, I mean the pirate and
the race car drive. No, those are all pretty. The pirate's a weird one because it's kind of like they 3PO'd it where they 3PO'd they. Doing work mode, I'm like 3PL. They 3PO'd it, meaning it was on, right? 3PO is on a stand, right? Yeah, he's on a stand, right? But the other ones, I believe, are just staying on the ground.
Okay.
But Harry and Hermione, there's good videos on there. You should check it out, Ken, when you get a chance. And I have them all except for the race car driver because I'm not in a, I'll get that before it retires. I have every one they've ever made except the race car driver that's out there. I think I have them all. But there's some comparisons and they're pretty good in scale. Which reminds me not to my thumb was up. I mean, we don't have to go into it, but Ken, I mean, are you baffled that we haven't gotten a fucking Vader like that yet? It's sitting there and it's blowing my mind. I think it has to be because of the Hasbro thing. You know what I mean? It's like they can't just release a figure. Like you're printing money if you just make those.
They seem to do everything possible to avoid the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, which I always say, again, devil's advocate, and maybe I'm too much of a defender of the Lego sometimes, but it's like, I assure you, there are a lot of smart, talented, best of the best, whatever the European equivalent of Harvard is, people over there. We've even sent some Yanks over there to help them out. So there's usually damn good reasons for why these things are happening. And it's not always like they don't care about us and all that stuff. It's like there's usually a damn good reason. Sometimes it is they just flat out don't care about us. I'm not gonna say it's not never, but like most of the time, like believe me, this is going through a lot of. If you don't think that it hasn't crossed their minds to do upscaled Vader yet, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's
European Harvard. Yeah, what is it called? I don't know.
Do they know out there either? That is probably no different than the CMFs, where obviously they know it's going to make money. So there's a reason they're never going to specifically tell us. Although I think they kind of have told us with CMF, didn't they?
Yeah.
They made that pretty clear.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Brick Dad Build says a lot of body builds that work with the helmet series to make upscale figure, Vader included. Then I need to commission somebody, but Brick Dad, I just feel like, and thank you for just being a problem solver. But man, like, make the damn set.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to take that step, you know? And I don't know. I don't know how it would do, man. I mean, I guess it's all relative to price. Rebecca Wall's out there. Okay.
Well,
but
I mean, at the
you know
right
what I mean?
price,
Like, I don't.
Trash
I mean, Ken, what do you think? Like, I ask everybody this when it comes up. Would you do? Could they do them for? It probably the Ewoks what 140, so it's like it'd have to be more than that. It's a bigger figure.
Shit. Did the Ewok really end up that expensive?
I want to say 130, 140. Somebody.
Wow. That's nuts.
I think it's 130. I think it's 130. My point is like, is part of it because it'd be 150, and it's like, okay, well, even at 150, same game, right? Everybody will say, oh, that's too much. I'll wait till it's 120 or whatever. Like, I honestly don't know why they haven't done this yet. Yeah. And then the other question is like, okay, well, who pulls enough to sell $150 once you get past the main eventers, right? You start getting to that second tier. I think that's part of the problem too. But I mean, you run into it with the helmets too. You know what I mean? But nothing says they owe us 2 of them a year for the rest of eternity either. Yeah. Right? So it's like, if you're making your lineup, what are you doing? What would you do if, like, who's your first 6 you'd make them of, and like you're responsible that they sell?
And responsible that they sell.
Yes. Not what you'd want as a fan and what you'd like to see, but you got to think about maybe some of that, but then also your ass is on the line if this thing flops. What 6 characters are you putting out? And in what costume and all that stuff? What do you think would work like today if you were like, you get to run this thing for the next 3 years, you get 2 a year to drop? What would you do?
Nobody with exposed skin. I think I would check that.
You would what?
Nobody with exposed skin. Like it would have to be all helmets, geared up, something.
Okay. So you wouldn't do a Luke figure?
I don't think so. Like,
it's fucking Luke though.
Well, I know, but I'm just thinking like the Harry Potter stuff. That translates to kiddie cartoony toy. Okay. Better than Star Wars.
All right, well, so give me 6. So at that point, though, is it mostly all villains?
I think so.
Well, I guess if you did Cody and Rex, you could do some trooper stuff.
Yeah, and I would love that, but I don't think they're going to sell at the scale of a Vader.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's tough. I mean, I
think universally we all start with Vader, right? You'd have to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hate to.
I'd probably
say Mando just feels so generic to me, but
he'd have to be in there because of the, you know, especially if the remember I told you we got 3 years, right? So it's like that movie's coming. I think he's a good one. Boba has to be in there.
Yep. Yeah,
anything Boba, despite them really trying to kill him with that series. You got to have a Luke. I don't care if it's Bread 5.
Well, okay, you could play it that way.
Farm
so
Boy,
then you just have
Jedi. Like you're gonna have to have a Luke. You just are. Think of Han. A store. There you go, Stormy. There you go. There's yourself, Ken. We get the Stormy, Han, and Luke with the swappable heads, so we could cover you up that way if you don't want to go. If you want to go skinless, boneless, spineless, no.
We'll just get all the chickens in there.
Obi, Annie. Yeah, I feel like Annie would have to be in there. I mean, Anakin's just like hot right now in general for Lego Star Wars. But I'm with you. I agree, by the way, that it would have to be mostly. And let's be honest. I mean, the villains all have the heater costume. Somebody said Kylo.
Yeah.
I do kind of want an episode 8 Luke. I kind of do. I think Luke looks really cool in all those movies, by the way. I just hate what they did to him.
Yeah, I don't.
Prager Padme, buildable?
Huh. That'd be something. Yeah, I don't.
All right, I derailed. Where were you at?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. I ended up over here somewhere.
you were asking about the music last, but yeah, I think we closed the loop on that. Yeah, it's
okay. It's music. Then we went to the sets.
Oh yeah.
How did you get tied into Brick World? Was that just a thing you decided? All right, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Set up shop here.
Geez, I
have some fun.
Who made that intro? I feel like it was either Ryan or Shy. I feel like it was Ryan or Shy made the intro. But however it happened, and I'm not trying to dismiss it. Like, it was a great intro. I very much so wanted to get him on the show. I didn't know Mark at all. In fact, I don't even think I saw him the first year I went. I probably did, but I didn't. Whatever. And I was just like, just for the show, for ACOB's sake, I was like, man, we had a really good time the first year we went, and this one's coming up. I want to say, we were in fact, I know when we were. Yeah, we were 3 months out, I think, when I had him on the first time from the 23 show, the 23 Brick World.
Okay.
However it came to be, I can look that up. I believe it's one of those two for sure. Made the intro. Would you like to? Yes, I would. He comes on, and we just clicked like buds. I mean, he's Mark, and I think Nicole was still on at the time, or she was on a lot more, or whatever. Like, we just had a ball. We had a great time. Did a 4-piece. I think we had him back like 2 weeks after because it was so much fun. Like, there were updates. I think that was the year we did the shop with Ryan, so there was a lot of hype and things to talk about. And we just connected, like, on a personal level, I think, in a big way. And so, but that year, the first year I met him, I just did that sort of activation with Ryan, and then that was the year that changed everything. That's where we went for not the weekend. We went for the week 23. Did the full boy, and so from then on, I was like hooked. And so it was just like, just becoming friends with him. That it goes beyond the shit we're doing on here. I just was like, dude, is there any way I can contribute? And he's always like, you can submit whatever you want. And I think that's something that people don't know about Brick World. Like, there's no like favorites or favors or whatever. I mean, ultimately, I guess there can be, but I don't know. We're just like, hey, we want to try this. It's like, cool, do it.
Huh. Okay.
Now it has gotten. And by the way, as long as you can provide the assets and do everything, like, you can just do it. And then there, I would say there is a next step where if you start to need resources, I'm not gonna say it's like a rigorous approval process. He either can pull it off or not. And so the example there is like, we wanted a stage. That's something they've never done. And so that took a little bit more like, I think this is a good idea. We should have a broadcast position. That took more selling than like, hey, we want to do a foosball tournament. He's like, great, fucking do it. You know what I mean? So, but I will say, like, over the years, like, I have definitely gotten more involved with like, like, I'm not staff, I would say, but like definitely part of the planning, and I meet with them a lot and talk philosophies and like where this thing should go and how do we make it better each year. What can we add this year? That kind of stuff. So I've definitely crossed over beyond being just like a big fan of it. I feel like I'm definitely part of the family at this point.
So,
but I am not employed by Brick World. Just so everybody knows, like I'm not. I don't take anything from them, other than, in fairness, because we're working a lot and volunteering a lot. We do get rooms, but just the same as his volunteer staff does. There's no extras. So I feel like that's. I don't know if I've ever revealed that, but that's it. That's all we. I don't want anything. I just want to be able to do. You saw us there. I mean, we get to have a canvas to do shit at the coolest show in the world. Like, to me, that's enough. Yeah.
So 2 years with the broadcast booth now? It's 24, 25 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you talked about having some kind of speaker further away so there can be a
Yeah, we've talked about it. So the real answer for that is they, per the building, so you know the area, it's a walkway, right, where we're broadcasting. It doesn't mean we can't find a better solution, but so to be clear, Ken, right here, right now, like the problem is that can't be, even though we do it, we being like, we all assemble, you know the spot, the hang spot, the stage bar, we call it, right? But like you can't just assemble and stand there in bulk. Like, it's not going to fly. Now, in reality, if a fire never, ever happened, is it probably cool? Yes, but God forbid it does, and he doesn't want to wear that.
Yeah.
Now, so what's the trade-off, right? Everything's a trade-off. Could we go somewhere else and have a live studio audience with seats and stuff? Yes. Is it as cool as our little cave over there? No. Could we be in a different auxiliary room? Yes. Would people hang there as much? No. If we were in the middle of the floor, could we do that out there? Maybe. But then what's the trade-off?
Yeah.
He has to
just the whole dynamic at that point.
Well, not only that, but like there's revenue considerations, right? He leases to his vendors. Those are prime vendor spots.
Yeah.
So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. That said, I'd say expect some kind of changes this year, next year.
So one thought so if you're sitting behind the booth looking straight at the back of the hall, that right-hand corner there, that corner was damn near empty the whole time.
If you where the concessions are?
Yeah, same wall as the concessions, but all the way over in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
There was always like nothing going on there.
Mm-hmm.
If you set up a speaker and some chairs over there, because
we can look into it.
The booth, we're all holding our phones to our ear trying to listen anyway. You can't hear anything coming from.
All right, Ken, fine. We'll put even more miles on my old ass body. I like just taking that, right? I like that we can duck out to those doors. You know what I mean? There's creature.
No. I'm not saying move the broadcast booth. I'm just saying if people want to listen.
Oh, put a speaker over there. Be like, you stand.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, because we can't hear you standing right in front of you unless we're holding our phones to our head while you're talking.
All right.
And you don't want to have a monitor situation. And like you said, we can't be standing right in front of you either. But if we could do a watch party in the back where we could actually hear you,
I'm in.
And then we could be the assholes on our phone, you from it's 100 feet away.
Well, here's one. Here's something, right? This would be like a stopgap. I think during private days, there is factually less traffic. I think we should and can be able to put one out there for that. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to assemble that big of a crowd on private days, and we're not really broadcasting on public because you just can't, man. Like, even with noise canceling and all that shit, it's so loud in there. Like, even if we had our cans on and all that, like, something's going to seep through. So, I mean, effectively, the thing winds down during public anyhow, so maybe that's the move. And we've talked about that. It's like, don't necessarily give up the space, but maybe it's prioritized for that, for more of the private audience.
Yeah, during public days, I don't think we spent more than maybe 45 minutes in that hall.
No.
Yeah.
I like to get the, the feel. I like to be there for when the rushing of the bulls and all that stuff. I do very much so enjoy that.
Yeah.
And the reason I enjoy that is for the team, like and for the attendees too. Like that's exciting. You know what I mean? Like we've already been there for 5 days. Like, but I enjoy, I love hype. So it's like, dude, as soon as that thing is a brick world open, I can hear it in my head, in 5 minutes, whatever. Here's a fun fact. I got to be that voice many times this year.
Really? That's cool.
I was making announcements. Mark would be somewhere. He's like, Sean, get on there and say such and such panel starts in 5 minutes, but talk real slow because it echoes and all that.
Yeah.
And so he would text me what to say and I would say it. I was running over there and doing it. I don't think anybody knew till right now. I don't know how many people have told that to.
That's so funny.
Public hours are the hours for private to leave the hall from Life Bricks. Yeah. So I did my best impression of that God voice that I hear out there. Brick world is now closed. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Mark has better health next year. That poor bastard this year.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That was wild. I didn't get to hug him till day 3, I think.
Yeah.
Which is wild. We usually have the big romantic comedy running, Actually, no. We eventually get to that, but usually he's so busy running around. Once we get time or whatever, we do all that and catch up and everything. But Mark is a very, very good friend of mine now. Love that guy.
He's whatever they call it, the opening ceremony, which I feel like he called it something different. That was awesome. It's
an opening ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I haven't heard of a name change.
Yeah, I thought for some reason.
He can spit. I mean, he's built for leading that. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a little touch of TED Talk mixed in there. Something, and that was really good.
That's what I'm saying. See, that's where I'm weak. I don't spin these big, $200 stories. I just kind of.
Yeah. So actually. Earlier when you mentioned that you don't enjoy recording, do you think part of that is the feedback?
My feedback.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm human. Everybody's human, and you get feedback, and you take it how you do. To me, we could get, honestly, we probably should get more shredded for live than if anything I ever did recorded.
Oh, I don't mean feedback like criticism. I mean the feedback you get, the play of the audience.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Got you. I thought you meant feedback
no.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I definitely. Yes, I like to know moment to moment if something's working, and actually that's a brilliant question because that's exactly what happens. Is if you're writing a TED Talk style thing, or you're writing something that's supposed to just be straight comedy, or the real kings are able to do both, right? Or all three, or make you feel sadness. Whatever it is your goal is, right? I like to know if it's working early, then do this whole big fat 30-minute thing to find out it was a dud. So yeah, I think I do like the live feedback, which is weird because you hear from actors who make a thing, most of these movies, they shot them, whatever, it takes a year or whatever to edit. They already, grew a beard, had a kid by the time it comes out. They have to wait a long ass time to get praised or buried, right? But then when they do something live, they actually, just from interviews, anecdotally, I've heard they get addicted to it because they go well, shit, I'd rather hear you know, the second I do, it's a different discipline for sure. You know,
Yeah.
like they go on stage at the Grammys the Oscars, and they have these jokes written for them. For a lot of these guys, that's the first time they've ever had actual real time feedback, I think.
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, unless they were stage actors in a play, which you'll notice. That's a great point too. They love that rush so much that, you know, when you're in New York, you have these De Niro level guys that'll just go back and do a play just because they like that hit.
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the money. They're not making what they'd make on a film, and it's factually harder work probably to do a 2-hour play for 7 nights a week or whatever. They like that hit. So yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. I think that's part of it. But I also, like I said, I get in my own head. I'm like, even if I know something, I have a good sense if it's really good. If I have to perform it over and over again, I'm not buying it at that point. So I don't expect the audience to. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, it does.
Dude, I listen to the songs like 2 or 3 times for errors. Not necessarily like, is it funny? Is it good? Is it going to work? It's more about like, is it technically not perfect, but good enough? And go. Because I know if I listen to it 50 times, I'm like, this isn't funny anymore. It's not going to be good. And then I would never play it. If that makes sense. Nobody's like more harsh on me than me.
Yeah. And the thing I like about this format, I hated this format for a little while because public speaking, talking.
But you're comfortable now. I can tell. I watch you. You're more chill. And it's human, right? You fought through. I could tell on your earlier ones you were a little more nervous figuring it out. But like, is it not true what they're saying? It's all about it's like anything, dude. You just do it more.
Yeah. And here, if for some reason something happens, the mic volume's too low, I mute myself like an idiot, somebody in the chat will say, hey, you're an idiot, turn your friggin' mic on. Fine. Like, it's all right. Maybe word it a little better, but fine. I appreciate the feedback. I recorded a tutorial the other night, and I went to edit the video, and my friggin' mic didn't take. And it's like, if somebody had been here, if it was live, none of that would have been a problem. And that was bullshit. And it's been 5 days, and I still haven't re-recorded.
I mean, again, you and notice some of the Girth Gang in the chat. It's like, what has happened with us with tech difficulties, right? We don't go 2 weeks without something happening, right? Yeah. So what do you do with that? You fucking lean into it, right? You make lemonade. You're like, make a song about it. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
You know, it's like, it would be, to your point earlier too, it's like, this isn't our full-time thing. It's a passion project. It's a hobby, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, I think there's leeway.
Yep.
And we're not just talking, I mean, we've barely talked about Leg right now. It's like, they know we're human and we're going to make mistakes, and they know we share everything, right? Like, I ran down because we started a few minutes late. Kids were just not wanting to go to bed. Whatever, so it's like, okay, well, so if something's off and whatever, we just had a storm, I share that. You don't get that from a short. You don't get that from a Lego review. So I think there's a little more leeway for the human factor on this. Plus, you're exposing yourself for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So there's it's a lot more time than a tight 7-piece on a 1-piece set. There's going to be more warts, and that's okay. And I think people appreciate it. Like, I try to be mindful of being polished and whatever about certain things, but shit's going to fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, there's times we've had the main topic and not even gotten to it, and they're like, whatever, fuck, who cares? I'm like, we've been 3.5 hours in. I'm like, we got to talk about mechs tonight. Here's a few mechs. All right, good night, everybody. It fucking happens. Like,
yeah. Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people come for, is the human element.
I think so. I hope so, because that's the most we have to offer. Because there's not, I mean, inherently there's nothing special. Like, we are not, except we're not mockers. We're not technically proficient. I think we talk about deals and hype, and you know what I mean? Like, the true substance is in like the relationships and just getting along. That's it. It's like, I wish there was something like this for me to go hang out at. Fortunately, I get to do it, but like, I would definitely watch this every week.
Yeah. And now, in the dawn of YouTube TV or whatever, it's so nice to be able to sort, or it's be listing or whatever, and actually be able to do some work and just throw the show up on the TV.
Dude, that's the most alarming thing. I forget, what was that, 6 months ago? I think it was 6 months ago or less, certainly, Ken, that for the first time, and this is, I don't get too embarrassed or whatever about much, but somebody in the chat's like, no, yeah, we're watching you on the big screen right now, and I was just like, why? No, don't. Like, we're iPad, we're a phone at best. What are you talking about? And so I went and looked in our analytics, and it's like, damn, I want to say like smart TV, which that could be any size. That could be from, I don't know, what, 30-inch on up to fucking 100, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like 35% is watching on TV. Yeah. Like, I never thought about that until somebody pointed it out. Yeah, we just run it in the background while we're cleaning the house. We run it in the background while we're having dinner.
Yep.
I had somebody send a picture of them sitting down as a family to watch it. That's fucking wild. Yep. Yeah. Also, I'm like, why are you letting your kid watch that?
Yeah, that's how I watch pretty much every week. The downside of that is no chat activity. The upside of that is no chat activity, because I'm trying to work. So if it's on TV, I'm not involved in chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as a viewer.
Yeah. Because then I can focus, because I'm not trying to join in on chat. I can just listen and do my work.
So let me ask you a question. Do you prefer, as a viewer, live more so than recording? And if you don't catch live, like, how much does that impact your enjoyment? And I guess based on what you just said, it's probably about the same, because if you know it's not live, then you don't have to do anything with the chat. But like, in general, would you prefer, if you're available, to catch something live, or doesn't matter to you as much, or like, what do you think?
I always prefer to catch live, because I do like to be able to see. So I'll have it on the TV. Usually I'll have it somewhere on another screen, so I can at least catch chat. Now that chat is actually on screen, the little box in the corner, that's awesome. I love
that's that. The best thing that's happened. Yeah.
That
took them 4 years to do it, but yeah.
You do lose some of the community feel in replay.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing. I mean, that's always fun.
And you always scrub. I think that's the other thing, right? Maybe you play it front to back, but there's sometimes you're like, oh, okay. Like, look, if you want to call it a format, we generally bullshit for about an hour, right? We get in there, we riff, we talk about whatever, leaks, super chats, introduce the Girth Gang. It's generally about 45 to an hour before we get into any kind of like reasonable topic. So I feel like at least that's where my brain goes. And so if I am watching someone else on replay, and if they put title cards up about like what the subject change is, like, I'm going to watch for those, because if their title says, and we're going to do a deep dive on Jurassic Park, and it's like, still not talking about, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool for time saving, but I think you've heard that term, the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score.
Yep.
Right? Like, Rodman is a perfect example of that, right? If you just looked at his stats, I think career, somebody check me, but I think he only averaged like 5 points a game or some shit. It's very low.
He didn't need to.
He had the most rebounds, but that's like not really a sexy stat. But beyond that, that guy was throwing bows. He was talking shit. He would be a motivator. There's a reason why the GOAT, Jordan, wanted him on the team. And it wasn't his 5 points a game. It wasn't even his rebounds. It's the stuff that doesn't show up. And so for me, the bummer about not catching and it's not just ACOB, it's anything live, is you're going to miss those interstitials, those things that don't show up. And we talk about that a lot, like with Brick World, right? Like the things that don't show up in the box score. It's like you go to whatever your motivator is, right? To see the sets, to buy shit, to eat at the restaurants, to have a vacation. To me, the best part is I knew you a little bit from DMing about some stuff, right? I got to spend a pretty good amount of time with you, considering like everything going on. Yeah. I got to meet the missus. She's a fucking heater. I love her. She's hilarious. That wasn't in my mind going there. That was didn't show up in the box score, right? So it's like that to me is the only downfall of Replay Gang. But we're never gonna not like do live only, you know, that kind of thing, because it's just not realistic. Too many time zones, too many parents putting the kids to bed, that kind of stuff. But those little things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love the.
Did I mention having beers with you guys on the couch when we were doing our replay, specifically Mrs. Dynasty and you? I didn't get to that, right? But that was like very special and it was fun, and it had nothing to do with we did this panel and we did this and all. But like that's to me, that's why I go. I mean, fuck, you can go. That's the other stuff's work.
Yeah.
And I think people don't understand that. I mean, you've seen the pace. Like, even to my wife, it's tough to sell. It's like, you know, she's understanding. She's like, it's kind of a vacate. I'm like, kind of for the first 2-3 days, but then I'm just like running like a maniac. That's why I want to get there a few days early to do the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score. Because otherwise, it's like, sure, I can show you the body of work. We put on this panel, this panel, this panel, hosted this show, did this show. But what's in it for me is to hang with the boys whenever possible. That's the real draw.
And then have a nice nap on the flight on the way home.
For many days, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Once the work's done, we're cranking beers, getting food, whatever. But like, there's work. Yeah. Making announcements, whatever. I'm not shitting on it. It's just that's part of the deal.
Yeah, but if you took all of that stuff away, then it would almost not be any of it, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I've said this every year. I'm like, I want to take on less. And it's never happened. In fact, it's like, let's take on more.
Are you already making plans for more?
Yeah.
Yeah. When do tickets go on sale? We got 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, we're here in late August, early September. Whenever Mark wants to do it, man, we'll do the big blowout show. It's going to be good. Anyone watching, man, early advice. Ken, you didn't do the Rennie this year, right? Because
No.
Are you doing it next year if you can?
I don't think so.
You like the deal of the other place, or?
It was $50 a night.
Oh, I didn't know it was that low. Okay.
Yeah. I'll stay in a dumpster for $50 a night. And really, it's I could light a butt right outside the door and finish it by the time I get to the other door. It was a perfect walk.
All right.
So not so bad.
No, that's good.
Yeah, leave the car at the Rennie.
Well, for those who do want to stay there, I would say, like, to me, that should be top priority. Besides getting the ticks, right? Like, there's very low chance that there'll be a full, flat out sellout. But the one thing that does sell out, if you're moderately interested, especially if you're piling in with the boys or whatever your setup is, really nice to have that access. Like, I cannot picture, for me personally, with the work rate and all that stuff, like, not having that access. It's super important. Here's a fun fact, though, Ken. I took 0 naps this year.
Really?
I was known for the legendary old man 30 the hour. I took none this year.
You just stay that busy, or just weren't feeling the naps?
This just didn't come up.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Bearded, we will physically. Anyone coming overseas, like, dude, we will figure out. Well, I'll throw somebody out to make sure you get a room if you want to stay there, dude. which I know Bearded does.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see more international folks because I feel like there's going to be more appearances next year.
No, we had a nice contingency this year, so
Yep. Yeah.
I love to see it, and I think, you know, if there was such a thing as a there's ban again, but a Brick World Ambassador Network, like I'm in. You know, like I can't express how fun it is for everybody. Like again, when I say I want to take on less, like I would love to just, part of me that just wants to just go as a, whatever you want to call it, normie again, you know, but like, but then that other part of me is like, I want to contribute and help this thing. So it's tough.
Yeah. So that would almost be like Mark trying to take the day off and sit around. I mean, at different levels. Of course. It's Mark, you know, he's the boss over there.
Yeah.
But if he takes time off, you know, he's just going to be harassed by everybody. You know, help
Right.
me with this, help me with that. You know.
See, I'd rather the harassment, you know, but there's no harassing. But I'd rather, yeah. I don't. But I guess you can see my crux where it's like I want to do less, but it'll eat at me if I could be doing more. And I feel like there's a good balance, but I'm definitely like on fumes. Somehow I make it to the finish line, and then it's funny you mentioned that. I'm not a big plane sleeper, but I 100%, and I travel a lot for work. I plane sleep the shit out of that Chicago flight. There's no level of uncomfortableness or whatever, you know. I always get my poor man's first class, which is my exit row seat, so I'm set up for it. I just never, the execution always fails. I definitely sleep as much as I can, for sure. Or I'm sorry, I definitely sleep on that flight back, and I put on a face because I've also decided, like, I go home on Sunday now. I did one year where I came back on Monday and I did not like the way that felt for the kids, and I feel like Sunday's kind of dust anyway at that point. So I take that nap. It's forced because of the condition, but then also I gotta get a 2-piece in before I go turn on dad hat again and be a dad for Father's Day.
So what is that? It's 5 or 6 hour flight for you, somewhere in there.
So unfortunately, there's no direct. So I think it's like, I want to say it's 2.5-ish down as far as in the air, not counting, you know, takeoff, taxiing, and all that shit. I'd say it's 2 something to Atlanta, and then I have an hour to fuck around in Atlanta, and then an hour to Asheville. So I think all in's probably like a 5 or 6 piece with all the other shit. But like my biggest stretch where I can actually take a nap is that inaugural flight.
Atlanta, and that airport, that thing is huge. It's such a big airport. I'm Boston area, so Logan is just little bitty. It's the
oh yeah,
change over there.
Oh no, I've been there many times, and in fact, I used to live in San Diego for like 7 years, and dude, have you ever flown in there?
Flown into San Diego?
Yeah.
Did I ever fly it?
All right.
No, we drove it. Right?
Dude, it is wild. It is the shortest, I think the shortest, or one of the shortest, top 10, whatever. It used to be second runways there is.
Oh, so it's just pure breaks.
Yeah. It's right in the middle of the city, just like Logan. Like it's not, you know, like 45 out like Dallas is or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's in the shit. And so I know what you're talking about with, like, you know, major city, terrible small airport runway or whatever, all that stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah, major city that also happens to be a really small city.
Life Brick, Sean, you're going to Atlanta BrickCon. That is yeah, Tyler, I think I'm gonna I haven't answered that yet. I think I like lightly intend to go every year, but this year I think I'm gonna make a true effort, if for anything, just to do a little competitive research. I hear it's growing. I hear it's cool. Even take the strategy hat off. I just want to that actually could see. I'm already thinking that way. I should just be like, I just want to go and just like be an attendee. So yeah, it's like a 3. It's not even proper Atlanta. It's actually closer to me because it's not proper Atlanta. I want to say it's like 45 out, but in my direction. So I think, Ken, it's like a 3-piece for me on the road, which is not bad. And I think it's in Feb. My birthday is in Jan, so I think I might, like, for a birthday present, be like, don't give me anything. And it would very much so be a family thing. It'd be like, let's do a 2-nighter, whatever, over there.
Interesting. I didn't realize that was February.
I want to say it's February. Somebody check me on that. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I kind of want to go. And quite frankly, all whatever I just set aside, Tyler's been talking about a lot. It's like be a good time to see some friends that I literally get to see once a year. Yeah. I'll tell you what's cool though is through work and business travel and stuff, I have actually got to see some of the boys on the road because we got people scattered now. Yeah. I got to hang out with them all. I had a Phoenix thing, and I got in early enough the day before I had to do my work gig thing. I think I got in like 2-3 o'clock. I think I just mentioned on the show, and Maul's like, I live there. I'm like, cool, to hit me up. Until farmed it, man, all the way out to Phoenix. He picked me up. We hit 2-3 BAMs, hit the Lega, hit Shields for the first time. I'd never been to a Shields. So I try to squeeze it in wherever we can. So that was cool. Cool seeing there.
That's awesome. Hey, when you hooked up with Shy and recorded your episode over there, did you see a turtle? That giant turtle? No?
I didn't look.
Okay.
He might have showed me. I don't.
Okay. Yeah. So I forget what it was. He posted a clip of something. I don't know, one of his shorts. And there was just this giant friggin' turtle hanging out at his front door, which I guess is just
like
a common thing.
As a pet or just like as a visitor?
I don't know if it's a pet or if it's just like.
Well, if it was outside of the front door, it's probably not a pet. So maybe they're just rolling up. I did not see a turtle that day. Yeah. I will say what is so sick about Shy's house is after seeing it, it's funny, man. It's like anything I think that you ever go to, like in real life, it's always way smaller, and it's not a knock on Shy in his house, but it's like, and he actually puts out there the square footage of his house, but like, it's so wild that all those memories and magic and all the shit he's done in there, and it's a very small space, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's
and
it looks.
By the way, his place. By the way, when I say it's not a knock, I'll back that up. That place is worth a fortune, especially where it's at. But like, it's pretty impressive what he's able to pull off in that space, and it's tidy as fuck. Because it's Shy.
It's Shy. Yeah. Yeah.
His background and all that. It's just everything he does is dope. I think the world of Shy. I think I've made that pretty clear. Yeah. And we've been speaking of early days, like with the going back to the Claire thing for a minute. Like I think pretty sure I had him on or knew him before even that. So he has been a trusted friend for me early, and it's definitely gone far beyond the Lego shit, So yeah, I mean, I think everybody's pretty aware he's probably fucking all around the best person in this. Like, not to put anybody down, but he's as advertised as it gets. So
Yeah, and he is one of the few people that's exactly the size I had expected him to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody seems either a lot taller or a lot shorter than I expect. He was exactly where I had figured.
Yeah.
It was an odd one.
Yeah, he's so he's that, like, that rare combination that can super pro shit, super relatable, you know. But then, yeah, as slick as he is, you still get to know a lot about the person and how he does it. He drops little tidbits subtly, and then sometimes not so subtly. Like, right off the rip, military guy, got that. Boom, he's wearing a hat, right?
Yeah.
Puts kids in the video. Very much so uses B-roll, etc., to establish where he's living in California. Like, rides a bike. He's really good about it.
Yeah.
He's the reason I haven't lost hope for short form. Guys like him.
Yeah. The man who's perfected the loop.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
in a
a real
meaningful
skill.
way. And he doesn't just go, because he actually, like, he gets more slick about it. Yeah.
He's caught me pretty good once or twice.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on a second here. I'm halfway through the second round.
He takes a lot of pride in his production, but like I said, the way he goes about it, and it's not just slick. It has heart, and that's deserve is an interesting word for me, but like, he deserves to be, in my opinion, and if he wanted to, and if he had bandwidth and all that, he deserves to be, damn near the top of the food chain in this shit. And he is. And it's not all just about, and he's the one who taught me about that. It's not always just like reflected in your numbers and shit, So.
Yeah. I miss Cali Bricklicks so much.
Yeah.
The frequency of that. I mean, sauce is.
You talk about brick roll. He's like, so whatever it was, 2 years ago, he just came up to me, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the convention. He's like, "Hey man, we're hanging it up, man. So you guys are the podcast now, because it's fucking, we're done, blah 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 blah." Well, I was like, "Well, it's not a replacement. I mean, thank you for saying that, but we're not doing what you do." He's like, "No, I know, but people need something reliable and decent and all that." So he's like, "Here's the baton, dude."
That's all.
And that meant a lot. He doesn't have to do that. And I'm like, "We're never going to fill your shoes, but thank you for saying that." He's like, "No, I part of the decision for me to want to step away is I feel like there's something consistent that people like to look forward to." And I was like, "Fuck." So when you get that from somebody you respect, that's it's big. And by the way, sober as a whip, standing in line for lunch. This was not some big emotional thing.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, that's actually how I found you guys, is on that show.
Oh, through Cali?
Yeah. And God, when was that? It was 2001. I think that must have been, because
21.
Yeah. I think that show ended somewhere.
I don't remember.
Late 21.
No, it couldn't have been 21. That was our first year.
No,
20, I think it was 23 or 22.
Was it that recent?
Yeah, it wasn't 21. Because 21 we started.
Where was I? No, because I was here. So yeah, that might have been 23 then.
I feel like Brick World 23
early years for me were blurry.
Brick World 23 is when we had that conversation. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Now I'm curious. Yeah. The first few years of Lego for me were a whole lot of lurking, so it's kind of hard to tell when everything is happening.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, it took a long time to stop lurking. That was hard. I don't know. I'm not going to spend forever scrolling here.
I'm pretty sure I winded down in 23.
Yep.
because Stoop is, it feels like it's about 2 years old at this point. So yeah.
Yeah, the last episode was July of 23.
There you go. Which that given the timing of Brickworld being in June, that makes sense.
Yeah. What did I click on here? Oh.
Which they pre-recorded too. They pre-recorded too, so he might have been sitting on it for a minute too. Actually, no, they went live on their last one. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I always told him, because part of it was the grind of editing it, and I'm like, dude, why are you fucking doing that? He's just like, I have to. Like, he's as passionate about editing as I am about being live. So, like, I'm not gonna fight him on it. I'm like, yeah, but dude, your workload. Like, you could set it up in a way where it's shy acceptable pro level and still be live. He's like, yeah, but I don't want the pauses and the ahs and ums and all this stuff. I'm like, well, why do you fuck with us? Because I and he's like, I don't know, it's not, I can't control that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And so my episode with him was funny because he's like, I was like, I'm sorry about ahs and ums, you probably at work. And he's like, I'm not just saying this to you, but outside of switching the shots, which I hated that side shot of my face the whole time. I told him that. He said that was not even close. The least he's edited an episode.
Wow.
Which, take that as a compliment or whatever, but it's also like, but I spit, you know, some of these guys, he really has to pull shit out of them. And it's like, I probably give too much or more than what's needed. You know, like, you ask me how this thing gets started, I could do 20 minutes on it. I could do it in 2, but I can also do it in 20. You know what I mean? So it's like, anyways, he's like, awesome. Yeah, he's like, no, that was my easiest edit ever. I would just essentially just fucking cut some of the shots, but there was no, I didn't take out 20 boring minutes or whatever. So what you saw was, and I'm like, I'm racking my brain. I'm like, was there anything? Shit, there wasn't anything cut. I don't remember being like, oh, this is cool. I can't wait for this to air.
That's great.
And I will say, like, one thing that was really cool was that thing posted like the day we were all headed to Brickworld, which was crazy. That was so cool. Like, I literally couldn't listen to it because I was heading to the airport, so I downloaded it. That was so cool that he kept his word, because I made him keep his word. That was in March. He's not a fast turnaround. It's shy. You got to post this before, we're talking about Brickworld. 50% of it, you got to post before Brickworld. I will, man. What do you got in the can? I got this. There was like 2 or 3 other shows. I'm like, you're gonna do all the. He's like, I didn't say that. They might come after yours, but I'll make sure. So he actually moved mine up, because I was like, dude, you run this after Brickworld. It's like, it's gonna be stupid at this point unless you do it before 26. He kept his word though, so it's pretty awesome.
We'll see if he gets the show with Hive up before next Brickworld.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, since he recorded that one on site.
Yeah, I think he did a couple, right? So he always does. Yeah.
Not next year. So he says.
What, that he's not going?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. He'll be there.
Yeah.
He'll be there. I think for him to not be there, he'd have to pull all the way out, but I don't think he is.
Yeah.
And by that I mean like all of it. And I don't think that's happening.
God, I would hope not.
Even if he does a 2-piece.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, after this year, I fully understand why it's, I hesitate to use the term addiction, but yeah, it's how you can get hooked and feel it necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soon for tickets. But, all right, man. We're at the 2-hour mark. You got another big one tomorrow because it's Thursday.
Dude, tomorrow night, look, people have asked, like, why haven't you done an emergency pod or a G-dub on the Death Star, Death Slice?
Because everyone else has.
Death Dust. Not even that. No, truthfully, like, I wanted to get in that hysteria. I was out of town. We had our beach trip with some friends and all. It's like it hit at the absolute wrong time. And to your point, because everyone else, there was a little bit of that. Because by the time I got home, I was like, shit, this thing broke while Ryan's double Death Star building was sands for 12 hours. They've hit it. CPA did something. You know what I mean? Like TOT boys were already on it. And I was just like, you know, to your point, like a little bit about the noise, but then also like factually, I wasn't able to cut the camera on until, you know how unpacking is from a big trip. It was like 11:30, 12, and I could have, you know, but I was just like, I don't know, the hype was gone at that point, so I was just like, all right. So but we'll you know, I'm hoping between now and 24 hours we can get a couple more images, a couple more nugs, whatever. But even if with what we have, I think certainly you know, can fill a broadcast with that. So we'll have an all-star lineup to cover off on that tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, I've gandered at it, but I haven't really gotten in the butt yet. So I really need to see what's going on. But like at a glance, several glances, I'm very happy with it. More so than I thought. Than it was just how it was described. And if you want to use the term practical, it's, I think, far more practical, you know, for the reason I told you that it's more flat than spherical for the average or above average collector to sort of be able to, you know, house and display. I'm pretty sure it was on the table to make a big ass ball, and they were just like, that had to be part of the conversation. And you've seen the moves they've made. I think a lot of people, and shout out to Tyler, you know, and I get it, they're really disappointed that things have gotten downsized, but there's gotta be, besides the greed that we all are like, they're just greedy. I'm sure that's going on too. I really feel like there is somebody in that room going like, hey man, we keep making these things gigantic. Like eventually something's going to break where they just can't display the shit. The volume, you know, like pricing aside, just the amount of sets that you get. I mean, again, I'm 5 years into collecting. I'm beyond maxed on space. These people have been doing it for 20 years. Like, fuck. So somewhere someone's there is like, make them smaller. They'll bitch, but they'll be more detailed. The accuracy thing we can talk about, but like honestly, because I didn't have the other ones, and I don't necessarily care for things being big for big's sake, man. I've really enjoyed the arc and the U-wing and some of the moves they've made. You know, I don't like it with like the Slave One. To me, that's like going too far, being too small. But for the most part, like the downsizing thing I get, because it's like, price aside, I could fit more of these shits on my shelves than I could like a big, you know, and people acting like they're super passionate about a U-wing. It's like, do I want a gigantic U-wing, or would I rather it be like a UCS, something I care about that's taking up that space? You know, that's just me personally though. You can't treat every set as this like holy must be giant grail. That's kind of where my head's at.
Yeah. A healthy medium size would be nice though. Like I thought the MIDI scale sets were going to have some potential. Yeah, what was it? The Executor first one. I thought that was really good. And then everything else just felt a little too small after that. And bland. And there's always the bitch. Like, give me one minifigure would be nice, you know.
I think, yeah, I mean, they quickly sort of devolved into ships I was less passionate about. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And again, talking about what's for me, you know, like everyone's losing their mind over the hand. And I'm just like, I think it's because they made a hand. You're excited. But if you're being honest, the same way you shit on things for being too small, it's like what you really want is like a play scale one. You're glad they made one, but like the people riding for that and saying it's a great set, like, okay. I still argue you're just glad you got one.
Yeah.
On that one, you know, like the Falcon, I think I put it in like my top 5, whatever it came out last year. That is factually a fucking killer set. There's no
for
holes in
95
that thing.
so.
It's also it's also the most expensive and yada yada. But it's like, I don't know if you've held that in your hand or seen it in hand. It's a fucking chonker, dude. It's fucking. I'm not saying you're feeling $90 there, but you're feeling a good 65. You know.
Yeah. Well, and now you can get it for 65. So.
That's what I mean. So I was like, it's not that, but I didn't feel like highway robbery. You know. Anyway, that's one of my big changes, though. I'm what I like about them making less of the play sets is like less for me to buy. I like Tyler's mentality of UCS only, but I'm still gonna buy starships and shit like that because I mean they're not always gonna make those UCS, so I'd like to have some sort of copy of those. But I am definitely helmet thing. I'm at a weird spot. I have them all. It's like I do want the Kylo, so I might, as far as I might continue to ride with that, but I'm really trying to get away from like the distraction shit. And I don't know if that's going to be buildable or what, but I've got to get away from some of this distraction fodder. So we'll see.
The Sonic sets.
Oh, not even that. I'm talking just within Star Wars.
Okay.
But yes, in general, I need to stop having wandering. I think that's why it's happened, right? I was like on Sonic, and then it was like Jurassic's always there. It just only happens like really once a year. But like, yeah, the wandering eye stuff. But you know, I mean, it's always gonna happen. But for Star Wars, I'm also getting wandering eyes even within Star Wars. I'm like, it doesn't like buying the Mos Eisley pod race, Mos Espa pod race. It brought me absolutely no joy other than like I have all those, so I got to get this one. And I guess I can put the Gascano on it or what. But I was like, I'm done doing that. I'm never going to collect all of everything. So it's like, if it's not Star Wars and it's a Marvel set that brings me more joy that time, then that's what I'm going to do. And I've never been a completionist anyway, so I don't even, you know, even within sub themes, it's like I'm just going to get what I want. So I have an interesting relationship with the Star Wars now.
Yeah, it's tough. You buy too much, you run into space danger, and then you have to start limiting yourself. And then you start getting rid of things, and then the cycle continues.
Yeah, no, I know I'm on that curve now. Like I use the term jaded earlier. I don't even think it's that. It's just finding out things about yourself. Like variety is the slice of life, you know. Like, and I mean, I'll be honest. Like the last few things I've picked up, if anyone's paying attention, it's been very Marvel heavy. It's just like I feel like they're not perfect, but the comeback I feel like has been pretty real. Once you get past the dust of like all the Infinity stuff, Fantastic Four, I know the legs and all that problematic, but I think that's a heater set. I don't think it's completely batshit at 60, especially when we get into the 40s on that. Like fucking go. It's the first time one of their buildable, you know, characters has been appropriate. You know, he's not a super thick boy, but he's also not. I'm looking at it. That's what I'm. He's not super skinny. But I'm all in on like that modular thing, man. Like the Oscorp with the bodega, and then you get the Peter Parker apartment, and you smell. That's the way to my heart is like, get me anything that's got continuity, and then you layer in New York City. So like, you know, and then dude, we got some. There's so much shit rumored, dude. It's just crazy. So it's really about even if, which I don't, but if you had unlimited resources, it's still like you're just not gonna build, you're not gonna get to it. So it's like I'm really zeroed in on like what makes me the most, fuck all the other stuff, what makes me the most happy. And it's like shit like Soundwave, shit like eventually the Gumball Machine makes me more happy than buying a ho-hum fucking MIDI scale thing about a vehicle I don't care about, other than it has a Star Wars logo on it. Fuck that. So
yeah, I just want things that are cool to display and fun to build.
Yeah,
but I mean,
because Bearded just said it. We're, as an adult, you're not playing with it. I mean, everybody says you can play with it, and I'm not even talking about judging. And I could give a shit if I told the whole world that, no, man, just like when I'm 5, I sit there and I have sword fight. Like, I don't, man. I wish I'd love to do that. I don't. And I get that outlet with my kids, fortunately. But probably like you, right? You want to build it. You want it to look badass. You might give it one swoosh.
Oh, you have to.
Because you have to, out of respect for the game, but it's like that shit's not taking off and landing very much. Certainly not like our shit when we were 6. You know what I mean? That thing's gonna get its first and final flight until we pack it up to mood or sell it. And that's that. So, but I will say, of everything in Star Wars, the starships, the vehicles, play scale, bring me the most joy, and locations, and it's like it's kind of where I'm at. You know. Like I've always, I know we're jumping
into a good time. I almost feel like to really get into the play scale stuff, you need to be a bit of a photographer, and that will never be me. I think those people excel.
I don't even desire to do that. It's like you said, does it look cool on the shelf? Like I'm fine, you know. So, but it's like Yavin took a lot of heat, and I'm like, fuck, I'd rather have that 9 times out of 10 than kind of forcefully buying a helmet so I can continue the series. You know what I mean? Like so. That's where I'm going.
They bank on the
I have a lot of work to do still on my. The one thing I am going to try to collect most or all for within reason is Jedi. It's my favorite movie. I'm really just like, you know, zeroing in on that stuff. So, but like you said, yeah, we're at the 2-piece. I can go on forever. Dude, thanks for having me on so much. We'll be right here tomorrow night. If you ever need me back and it works with schedules, dude, I'm happy to stop by.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Everyone, thanks for hanging out tonight. Next week, Chris from the Great Brick Lab will be on to talk.
I'll be watching, dude.
Yeah, 2 million pieces in his inventory. It's amazing. 23,000 plus sales.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Peace. Hey, man.